Greetings friends and welcome to Buck's Small Engine DIY on YouTube. I got a lawnmower here in front of me that was given to me at no cost. It doesn't start or run. You think we can get it going? Alright, and welcome. I'm Buck Weezer. Thanks for joining me today. Yeah, I picked up the mower at no cost. It doesn't start or run. It's from 2011 and it's in really good shape for that age. Let's get it up on the operating table and see what we can figure out. Alright, so recoil didn't go back, didn't recoil. A mess, rusty mess in there. Wonder if I can clean that out. Or maybe it's just a matter of finding a replacement for one of these. I just turned this into a bad day because I broke it. I absolutely broke that stud off in there. Torqued it down too much. What a dummy. That choke plate is not fully closed. It's like half open. Let's go in a little closer. Can you see that? So this choke plate needs to be fully closed if you want it to start cold. And it looks kind of corroded in there. And so my first suspicion is the correct one, that there's something up with that choke plate. It doesn't want to shut all the way. It's supposed to be automatic on this machine. It's moving and I can force it closed. But the mechanism is very delicate and sometimes it can get clogged up with grass debris or corrosion. And if it doesn't shut all the way, you're going to have a heck of a time starting it, unless you want to like spray starting fluid in to prime it. And here's our little bracket for the choke. It's disconnected. I don't think I did that. Seems to have come off. And kind of rusty down there on the bottom. You see that? Yeah, he doesn't really look that good. All right. Not getting anywhere with that, and that's a little bit frustrating. Our other option is to go on Amazon and we can buy one of these for fairly inexpensively. But we'll see. I think it's time to just take a break and come back and mess with it later. So now keep your eye on that spark tester as I pull the string and see if it flashes at all to indicate sparkage. Oh, it absolutely does. And in fact, felt like it was about to start there on our starting fluid. I'd like to take a look at the condition of the sparky plug. Not tight. It's kind of wet. A Champion RA8HC. I don't know if I'm going to have anything like that, but we're going to look. I have the exact correct plug. So let's try that out. Let's actually tighten this one. All right. Great. Now, shall we try it again? No, nothing there. And the biggest frustration here is that our recoil doesn't work, so I gotta manually rewind it for every attempt. But you know, I'm confident that we can get this to run, but I'm not confident I want to spend a lot of money. I don't have the confidence that we will get it to run. You know, still nothing. Don't go anywhere, folks. My friends, but you witnessed it, and we did confirm some things with that little test. What do we confirm? Is getting spark, has compression, can run, will fire. Okay, welcome back. It's been like 48 hours since we last talked about this corroded carburetor. I was unable to remove the jet. The bowls are horrible. And I decided, you know, this might be the kind of time where we should try an aftermarket replacement carburetor. They're not very expensive, and I've discovered that there is one aftermarket brand that I've have some confidence in. It's HIPA, or maybe it's HIPA. I've done some reviews of their products in the past on other videos. So if available, I like to buy my aftermarket replacements from HIPA. And that's what I did in this case, and it was not very expensive, $16 or $17 if I remember right. Gaskets, got a piece of fuel line, which is nice because I was going to replace ours. I don't know what that is. Here's the carburetor, fuel line clamps. So you get the kit to really redo the whole thing pretty effectively. So there's a nice new carburetor. We got the choke mechanism. It's got all the right parts up here for the throttle, for the choke. So yeah, I feel like that's hopefully it'll work all right. You get some other parts that I generally throw away, these cheap filters. Sometimes these fuel line shut-offs, but they're trying to send you enough stuff to, you know, sweeten the deal for you. Fuel line clamps, I can always use that. This air filter is not the size that we need anyway, so I'm not really going to use that. This is the one we have, so it's significantly bigger than the one they sent us. But I will be using some of this stuff, right? Carburetor, fuel line, the gaskets, and so I'm happy with that, and we're going to go install it right now on the mower. Alright, so carburetor goes up. The gasket that came with it doesn't entirely match the one I have here, so I'm going to use the original one. Alright, and we're going to try to get the throttle linkages back on there. That guy. The spring. Alright, so that's good. Let's see about getting this fuel line out of here, because I had to replace that. And I'm being kind of rough with it, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to replace it. Oh, that's challenging. Old clamp. All right, and that guy comes off. The fuel line that came with the new carburetor seems to be too small a diameter, so I'm not going to use it. Save it for something else. And I've got some other stuff that I'm going to use. Cut that piece. Where are my clamps? All right. Try these clamps. Oh boy. I think that's good enough. That clamp's too small. Let's try the one that came with. Yeah, we'll go with that. Fish it back through this little bracket. And I didn't cut it very straight, did I? Let's see, fix that. Clamp, Jed, clamp it. A little tight. I'm going to try a just drop that to lubricate that. Okay. Oh boy. It's not always as easy as you want it to be. Okay. I think that's better. Will I be able to slide that carburetor back on there? Barely. Okay. Reconnect the throttle linkages and the spring. Alright, so we got a new fuel line. That's good. Carburetor's up in place. Let's see about this this guy right here. For that diaphragm. better. Alright, so this is part of the choke mechanism. Come up through this way. Alright. Linkage is on there, and it doesn't seem like it's going to fit quite right. This, I don't know if you can see that. This here is bumped out a little further, which is impeding this from going all the way in as it should. Looking here at the original carburetor, it doesn't have this bump out. So what I feel like I need to do to make this fit right is that I cut a notch here in the plastic of this diaphragm assembly, because as it is now it's not fitting on there quite right. I guess this is the bane of using aftermarket stuff, but I don't think this is going to be that big of a problem. I'm just marking where I need to trim this out a bit. Alright, so just notch it off here, right here, with the utility knife, and if that's going to fit a little better. Yeah, that's all it needed. Alright, crisis averted. It's really no big deal. Alright, that linkage needs to go in there. Fine, there. And then I got the two shoulder bolts with the Torx T20. Let's see. That's not too bad. Worked out all right. Tighten it down just a little bit. All right, so that's good. It's got to plug back in here. You just don't get a lot of room to work, do you? Alright, I think that's going to be fine. What's next? I got a gasket, this guy right there. But we also have this choke linkage to connect, and you might remember it was disconnected when we were taking it apart. So what did I do with the other, this guy right here? problem is, which way does it go? Like that. I think that's it. No, that's not it. That has to go down like that. I don't think that's it. Or is it this way? Alright, I'm gonna have to look it up because I just don't remember. And since it was partially disconnected when we got here, yeah, I don't trust that either. Alright, let me go look up a diagram before I go any further. Alright, I was poking around, looking at some video and trying to, and diagrams, and I think I've got this linkage hooked up correctly. I'm just not happy with this, because even if this is correct, it feels to me like this linkage could just pop out of there so easily, like it was when we opened this up. But I feel like that's just the way it is, and if I've got everything working smoothly, then we should be okay. Famous last words. We should be okay. So now I'm just attaching this bracket again with the T20. Let's see here, where's the other one? Oops. Bit of a challenge. Drop it down in there with the needle nose and then try to get it with the driver. Alright, I got it. And tighten them just a little bit. Alright, so if this is working correctly, you know, when the engine's cold, that choke plate should close. But sometimes this mechanism, this heat mechanism back here doesn't always work well. So even now, it's cold, but we're not fully closed. Which makes me think that instead of having this side of the link go through there, I should use that side. And I'm going to try that, if I can figure it out. And that would certainly keep it from popping out. So if I come up through the bottom, yeah, so it's a little bit of a jigsaw puzzle. And I'm going to take off, I'm going to loosen this bracket again so I have more room to mess with this linkage. I think I got it. No. No, I don't. Alright, I'm going to wrestle with this off camera because it's just getting embarrassing. Okay, so as soon as I turned the camera off, it came together okay. Something about the camera being on that makes things malfunction, I don't know. Anyway, I'm happy with the way I got it, even if it's not entirely correct. So I've got the linkage on there, and you can see since we got a cold engine and the spring back here is cold, the choke plate is closed. That's how it should be. But as the engine warms up, this is going to open. And that heat spring is going to hold it open. And then it gets cold and it's going to close again. When you first turn on the engine, the choke is pulled open by this diaphragm, which is controlled by pressure, air pressure, engine, and that's why it's connected here back at the base of the carburetor where it connects to the manifold. And that provides your initial opening of the choke once you start. And then this heat spring opens up and holds it open while the engine's hot. It's kind of complicated. It's too complicated. It's almost stupid. You know, why don't we just get a manual choke like the good old days? As soon as your engine starts, you open it up. You're good to go. Every time you automate something, it gets more finicky and more complicated. That's what I think. It just doesn't need to be that way, but it is. All right, so we've got our carburetor on. It's the new one. It's from HIPAA. It's the aftermarket. And we're going to, in this gasket, we can put our air cleaner assembly back on. To do that, we got to plug in this gas tank vent down here, which you're not going to be able to see real well. It just plugs into the back. And this will be our crankcase breather. And this guy goes up here. We have a bolt that goes through here, and there's a spacer in the back. What happened to our spacer? I misplaced the spacer. There he is. That's this guy. And I think I'll hold it in place with the needle nose if I can. But I can't. Nice try. Can I slide it up through the bottom? Ah, that got it. Now we can stick that guy in there. We can look for a 10mm socket. That's nice. We can put these bolts on. Dirty, I should have cleaned that better. Alright, so our carburetor is installed. The choke plate's closed since it's cold. That's how it should be. Throttle linkages moves okay. That's good. I think we are done with that part of the job. Well, we needed a new recoil. I Ordered one on Amazon. You can get the OEM, the Kohler. It's like 50 bucks, but I'm not spending that on a mower that's 14 years old that isn't that important to me, because there's a lot of them aftermarket for about 15 bucks. So that's what I opted to do. And there he is. All right, so hopefully that'll bolt up nicely. The issue is, as you know, I busted off this post, so I only got 2 of my 3 posts. So I do need to address that before going any further. What I want to do is try to drill out the post that's missing, you know, the one that broke off over there. This guy over here. I'm going to try to drill it out with my counterclockwise drill bits. Sometimes you call them left-handed drill bits, and maybe get that broken piece out with an easy out. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I feel like I should try something. Alright, so it's right down in here, and it's part of holding on the gas tank, so I got to move the gas tank out of the way. So I think that means we got to take off this this post as well and move the gas tank out of the way. Of course, this is all my own fault because I was going nuts with the impact instead of taking my time, going slow, hand tools. All right, and I gotta, let's see, what else do I have here? Maybe one back here. Okay. All right, that's out of the way enough. So there it is. I don't know if it's going to work or not. I'm just going to try to put that right in the middle. Ooh, that's nice. I like that. You see that? Yeah, so right there, that's where we're working. So that's that. Now I'm going to get my left-handed drill bits. Here we go. Easy outs, drill index. These are my left-handed drill bits. I paid a lot of money for them. They're drill hogs with a lifetime warranty. I don't remember how much I paid, but anyway, it's not a good designation left-handed or right-handed because we're just talking about the direction in which the bit will spin. So let's see if what happens here. And I'm going counterclockwise, that is left-handed, because that is the direction that we would want to go in loosening the drill, the stud that's broken off in there. So we're hoping by going in this direction, we'll have the effect of loosening the broken bolt that we're trying to remove. Making some little progress there. All right, I think this might actually be working. I got my easy out in there and I'm turning it, and I think I can see the bolt turning. Can you see that? It really wasn't in there that tight, and I don't know how it snapped so easily, but there it is. I got it off, so that feels pretty good. So my next plan then is to replace that. I can replace the stud like this that's missing with a piece of M6 metric threaded rod, which I have, and some nuts, and hopefully that should get it fixed in a reasonably good fashion. All right, so here's my plan. Here's the good stud. Here's the threaded rod beside it, and I could use the M6 threaded rod and then a couple of nuts to make this is the end that would bolt down into the engine block at the gas tank, and then this is the end that would stick up to for the recoil. And if I cut it right here, should be good to go. So I'll cut it a little bit longer just to play it safe than the other one, but I think that should work. All right, so here's a new piece. I was thinking maybe I should use some thread sealant on these. So I'm going to be able to tighten it down by putting these two together. Two 10mm wrenches. So if I hold that one down, tighten that. Now I should be able to tighten the whole bolt. Okay, about as far as it'll go. Now I can tighten down this nut right here. Not a lot of room to get a wrench in there, but that's pretty good. And now these two, I want to get, to be at the same height as this guy. So I think I got it up a little too high. And if I'm looking at it right across here, it should be about the same height as the, we might be good right there actually. Same height as the fins on the flywheel fan. So let's put this guy back in. All right, so that's that. So we got our new makeshift stud, and those are tight, so that should keep it at the correct angle. I mean, at the correct height, because I have two nuts there together, tightened together. So that should do fine. And then we can get our shroud back on and try out our new recoil. But I think that should work okay. I think that new stud is a reasonably good fix. All right, this dipstick can go back in place. New recoil. Fits in there. 3 nuts. And this one going on our new stud. And we'll just snug them down without going nuts. Here we go. All right. I think it's a matter of adding fuel and see if it wants to run for us, because we've done our repairs. All right, we've added fuel and we're gonna see if it'll run for us. I don't have the air cleaner on, air filter on. I want to be able to look at the choke mechanism and make sure it opens up for us. So I'll leave that off for now. And here we go. All right, I want to thank you for joining me today. I've tried to give you the full repair project with minimal editing. So you saw the whole thing, my mistakes, my struggles, and yeah, it wasn't as easy as I expected. I guess the question is, I got it for free. I put a little bit of money into it between the recoil and the carburetor, about $32. Oil change I'll do and a new spark plug, but I haven't spent a whole lot. But was it worth it? One of the things you didn't realize is when I went to shut it off, it didn't shut off. So I gotta look into that too. It's not the coil wasn't grounding out for some reason; it just kept running. So it's another little thing to think about. The self-propel mechanism works, but it makes some noise, so I might investigate that. And so you start adding up time and stuff that you start investing parts you need to buy. But hey, it did start on the very first pull. That was pretty impressive, wasn't it? After who knows how long. It was smoking, but as I hoped and expected, it stopped. It stopped smoking, and I was cutting grass with it for a few minutes. Worked pretty good. So I'm not entirely done with it, but I think I'm done with it enough for this video. So I want to thank you for watching. Your comments and questions, suggestions, criticisms, complaints, commendations, whatever you want to throw at me in the comments, I'm always willing to read that and appreciate it so very much. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I'm really grateful for that too.
Remember, as I always like to say, only you can put the do into do-it-yourself. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye.